Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another requested one. It's something that I snapped on my Snapchat and a few of you guys requested for me to do a review. And I'm glad that you guys did because honestly, I don't know why, but I kind of overlooked the whole idea of even sitting down and doing a review. I guess I figured I'd play with these products and eventually mention them in an upcoming favorites video or something like that. So they are the new Wet n Wild brushes. I actually picked up 7 different brushes. And the funny thing is that they were so inexpensive that I picked up 2 of every one that I picked up. So I basically have this whole backup set here and then these exact same brushes in my vanity that I have been using to play with. The reason I did that is because I just knew that I was going to love them, and I have this thing where I have to have backups of everything I love. Hashtag hoarder. I want to have a backup because you never know when something will be discontinued, and there's nothing worse than running out of your favorite thing. So these are the backups, which I'm glad I did that because now I can talk about these brushes clean, not the dirty ones that I've used in my vanity. So without further ado, let's just get into this video. I actually picked up 6 face brushes and 1 eye brush. I have a lot of eye brushes that I already love and use, and I didn't want to, pick up a whole bunch of them, so I figured I'd just get 1. And then face brushes are something I love testing out and trying new ones, so that's why I picked up 6. I believe there's a total of 16 or 15 brushes within this whole new collection. I only picked up 7, and there's a funny story that goes along with these brushes. When I first discovered them on Instagram, I saw pictures and stuff like that. I fell in love with them. It was a very superficial love affair. I fell in love with the way they look. There's just something about the minimalistic design, just a white handle and then this pink top. It's just so cute, so aesthetically pleasing. My whole entire bedroom is white furniture. I love that minimalistic look, that clean look, and these brushes, I fell in love with them instantly. Just so superficial, but just because of how they look. And I'm really glad that they work as well as they look. So after seeing those pictures on Instagram, I had to go find them, and I learned that they were only at Walgreens. Of course, story of my life. All of the Walgreens by my house do not have these brushes. They don't even carry the display. I went to 4 different Walgreens. None of them had the display for these brushes. I was thinking that I'd fall upon a display at least in one of these stores and maybe half of the brushes would be sold out and I wouldn't be able to get my hands on the ones I really wanted. But I didn't even get that lucky. There were none in any of the stores. So I kind of got frustrated. I gave up on the whole thing, and then I said to myself, I was just sitting in my room on the computer and I thought, why not check the Wet n Wild website? I mean, they don't always have everything that's in the store on their website, but you never know, it can't hurt. I logged on to Wet n Wild, and wouldn't you know it, they had the brushes, every single one in stock, and I picked my favorite 7 that I wanted to test and play with. It was so cheap, the shipping was like $4, that I threw in a whole second set. I mean, I was just blown away by these prices. I figured the best way to review these brushes is to kind of go in order, tell you what I picked up, what it's called, what it's for, and then what I think about it, because I've played with them, and that'll probably be the best way to review them. So let's start off with the only eye brush that I picked up, and this is the crease brush. It's an amazing blending brush. I found that this blends any powder product, any eyeshadow like a dream. I have been loving this with my eyeshadows. I'm so glad I picked it up. And the best part is that this one was only 99 cents. I couldn't believe it. 99 cents, under $1. And I have paid for dollar brushes at the dollar store, or other Wet n Wild brushes, or other just inexpensive drugstore brushes that shed, that didn't work, didn't blend, were kind of scratchy, just bristly. This one is soft. This one did not shed, and it blends amazingly. So this was definitely a dollar well spent. This next brush is the powder brush. This is the one I was most excited about because I love testing out powder brushes, because after I do my foundation, I love to set it with a powder, whether it's a translucent or a slightly tinted powder. But some powder brushes, I feel like they absorb a lot of the product and they don't really do anything to my skin, so I'm left with a shiny shine. The powders aren't really making their way onto my skin and onto my face to kind of stop that shine. This brush picks up all the product you need, but it doesn't absorb any of it, so it evenly applies it to your skin. So you have it on your face, you're not wasting it on the brush. This is under $3. This is $2.99. So this evenly applies your powder. It just does a great job of blending it. I love this brush. It's amazing, and it's so soft. This next brush that I really like is blush brush. This brush applies just the amount of blush you need. Blends it out in a way where you're not left with any patchiness, you're not left with any pigmentation that's too over the top. Even if you put too much product on your face, this blends it out really easily. And I like this, and the reason why I think I was most intrigued when I saw it in the picture is because it's kind of tapered. So to me, it reminds me of a mix between a fan brush and a powder brush. So it does a great job of kind of fanning out that product and blending it out after you've popped it onto your face. So I think it's a really good blush brush. Then I picked up the brush that of all of these is the one I wanted to play with the most, and it's the flat top buffer brush, basically like a kabuki style foundation brush, great for powders, great for liquid foundations, CC creams, BB creams. I have not used it with powder yet, but I have found that it works really well with blending out any of my liquid foundations, and it gives you such a nice, even, airbrushed finished look. You don't get any patchiness, which I sometimes find with some brushes out there on the market, whether they're high-end or affordable brushes. I find that sometimes they're patchy, they don't distribute the product evenly, and I don't really like that because I have to waste more product just applying it to the little areas that it didn't quite give me coverage. This brush does an even application 100%. For $3, this is my favorite liquid foundation brush at the moment. I think it's awesome, and I'm so glad that I picked up 2 of them. And then I picked up the contouring brush. I had to pick up a contouring brush. Been so into bronzing and contouring lately, I needed to test this one out. And I was quite pleasantly surprised to find that this one was also only 99 cents. And this does an amazing job of finding those hollows in your cheekbones and just contouring away. And then when you turn it onto its side, it blends out so seamlessly. For 99 cents, you cannot go wrong with this brush. If you're looking for a contouring brush but you don't want to spend a lot of money, look no further than Wet n Wild, because this one blew me away. I think this is my second favorite of all the ones I picked up. And then last but not least, I picked up 2 more brushes. These are their stippling brushes. I had to pick up their large one and their small one. And if you don't know, stippling brushes are also referred to as duo fiber brushes. And that basically means that they have 2 different types of fibers within the brush. They have long fibers and short fibers. The short fibers are the ones that are going to pick up that product and pop them onto your skin, while the longer ones are going to blend it out. So I believe that stippling brushes are best recommended to people that don't like a lot of pigmentation, are newer to makeup, they just don't want a lot of product on their face, but they want to wear some makeup. These will blend it out so that it doesn't look too over the top. Especially with really shimmery bronzers, I feel like these stippling brushes do a great job of popping on that color, but blending it out, giving you that nice sun-kissed look. You can also use these for blushes, especially very pigmented blushes, because they'll be easier to work with these kinds of brushes. That sounds so funny. Blushes, brushes, brushes, blushes, kind of like a tongue twister. But yes, I find that the large stippling brushes are great for both. They're perfect for blending out bronzers as well as blushes, just depending which one you don't want as much pigmentation with. Darker bronzers will work well with these larger stippling brushes because they'll blend it out so they're not so muddy. And then with very pigmented blushes, the same thing, they'll blend out those blushes so they aren't too strong, too overbearing. And then the small ones also can work for blush, but I prefer to use them for highlighting. I like to take them on their side, pick up the product, pop it onto the tops of my cheeks, and then turn it onto the front side and blend it out and up, and it just does a great job of blending out any highlights, making them look natural and subtle, but still giving you enough pigmentation. So I highly recommend stippling brushes for those kinds of things, for bronzers, blushes, and highlight that you want to blend out, make them look a little bit more natural, or simply just to work with those products, because I find that bronzers and highlights work well with stippling brushes. And these are both also $2.99. The other thing I wanted to mention is I wanted to keep everything drugstore. The lipstick is from Wet n Wild's Mega Last collection, and this one is in the shade Just Peachy. It's a bright kind of corally pink, more on that corally peach than the pink. So I popped on some of the Covergirl Oh Sugar lip balm in the shade Sprinkle, which is like a hot pink but sheer. I popped that on top just to give this a little bit more of a pink vibe than a peachy vibe, and I like how the two mix actually. And the Covergirl one is so moisturizing. So if you're thinking that your Wet n Wild Mega Last lipsticks are a little bit dry, try mixing it with these Covergirl lip balms, because you can find a similar color to match and it'll hydrate your lips a little bit more. Just a fun little tip that I discovered today while I was putting my makeup on. And then everything else I'm wearing, of course, is drugstore. So if you want to know what that is, I'll have that listed below in the description box. And I took it a step further. I even changed my manicure to the new Wet n Wild One Step Wonder Gel Polish. This was sitting in front of my face and I didn't even know what color to paint my nails. And then I realized, why not just get a very light pink color? And this was right there on my desk. So I painted it this color. This one is in the shade Pale in Comparison. And I really like it because it's like a white polish that has the tiniest bit of pink in it and also a little bit of shimmer. So I just thought that would be pretty. I have OCD kind of, so whenever I film a video, I want my nail polish to match either the theme of the video or what I'm going to wear in the video. I didn't want to clash and went ahead and painted my nails this morning before filming this. Yes, I do have a problem, I think. I really like these nail polishes. If you guys haven't checked them out, they're like $3 or $4, really inexpensive. Wet n Wild's pretty amazing. I love that brand. I love that brand for a really long time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. And when I went to start, when I went